In Miaoli, Tzu Chi provided aid for a family stricken with illness, poverty, and accident. Volunteers in Malaysia reach out to communities to provide relief for low-income households. Welcome to Dial Headlines. I'm Jenny Lee. Thank you for joining us. In Yunli, Miaoli County, there's a family of 6 battling with illnesses and poverty. 82-year-old Grandma Yang has to support this family. Her family members have different ranges of disabilities and conditions. Tzu Chi volunteers have visited this family to provide necessary help.
Grandma Yang is 82 years old. Her 62-year-old son had a car accident 4 years ago, as it leads to his paralysis.
As I message him, his blood circulation will improve and he will feel more comfortable.
Grandma Yang takes care of her bedridden son. Her physically challenged daughter-in-law works in a factory. Besides her eldest grandson, the other 2 grandchildren are physically challenged. Despite her foot injury, Grandma Yang does her laundry outdoors.
I can save on water bills. I take the bowls and other items here to wash them. I will rinse them when I go back.
This impoverished family is facing more difficulties because their eldest grandson got into a car accident.
We first conduct home visit. We will assess the family's situations.
The eldest grandson who got into a car accident is still in ICU.
As I see him suffer, I suffer as well. How could this happen?
Volunteers comfort Grandma Yang, who could not hold back her tears. Besides Tzu Chi, other organizations also offer help. Everyone's love and care is around Grandma Yang.
Everyone is helping us. Thank you very much. Thank you.
In 2018, Sulawesi, Indonesia was hit by an earthquake. In the past 2 years, Tzu Chi has completed 2,000 permanent houses to accommodate affected residents. One of the residents, a single mother who has endured many hardships while raising 8 children, can finally move into Dai village and start a new life.
Karena kalau mau kita tidak jalani, Bu, tidak boleh juga kita tolak karena sudah takdir begitu. Apapun kita hadapi, kita terima dengan baik.
It's been almost 2 years since a strong earthquake struck Sulawesi, Indonesia. It is always said that time is the best healer. But if you were Hanavia, who is a single mother raising 8 children, it would be very difficult to overcome suffering.
Saya bilang saja.
The earthquake seems to have happened only yesterday. The soil liquefied when the house collapsed. I can only pray to Allah for the safety of the children. Thanks to our neighbors for saving them.
Pertolongan kepada anak dengan tetangga.
After the disaster, she and her daughter made cakes and paddled everywhere, earning around $100 a month.
Every time when I walk past my ruined home, I'll be too sad to speak. Only when I make cakes in the kitchen, I can forget everything temporarily. I also told my children to work hard, otherwise don't expect to have anything.
Hanavia needs to bear the living expenses and the rent alone, as well as taking care of her 6th son, who is physically and mentally challenged. Seeing her sufferings, her youngest child will go everywhere to pick up scrap metal once high school was over.
After school, I will go everywhere to pick up scrap metal, which can be sold at 2 USD. I will give all the earnings to my mother.
Knowing that they can move into Tzu Chi's permanent house in Dai village, their life seems to have hope.
Segera lagi baku pisah-pisah ngekos. Iya, bersama-sama, kumpulan satu keluarga, rame-rame, segera lagi ngekos begitu dah.
Tzu Chi scholarship recipient Kang Yu lives in Hebei, China. She and her brother live with their aunts because their parents passed away. During this time, Tzu Chi volunteers have encouraged them with letter exchange. On September 10th, the volunteers celebrated Kang Yu's birthday and her coming of age.
At the age of 18, one should be half an adult, yet retaining half of a teenager. Looking at every gift volunteers are bringing in, every single item's sincerity is sent into Kang Yu's heart.
It's good to have an extra pair. It's both purple and it's your favorite color.
Volunteers understand the likes and hobbies of Tzu Chi scholarship recipient Kang Yu.
I knitted this blanket and I wait until winter when she reads and it's cold. She may use it to cover herself.
2 years ago, Kang Yu's parents passed away as the brother and sister live with their aunt. Tzu Chi volunteers have stayed with them along the way. Using letters to communicate, the allocated emotions are equivalent to a family.
This time while we visit, we were happy to gather this much stuff. Kang Yu is really working hard. We were surprised that she is able to get into college, and I think she's great. We must come over here to celebrate her birthday, giving her a fresh start.
The filial Kang Yu takes care of her mother. She took an 8-month gap from school, yet encountering the pandemic. Gladly, she continued to work hard, and now her results led her into a college.
Now I hope the most that my family may healthily live. That is what I hope the most. Moreover, I wish to have a fulfilling college life. I want to learn more and go for grad school.
Kang Yu, compared to people of her age, is more mature and steady, yet volunteers are still worried about her. Bringing along expectations from her aunt and volunteers, 18-year-old Kang Yu is moving on from her past, starting fresh as she is going to live a brilliant life.
Due to the pandemic, the Indonesian government has implemented social restrictions. The students in Jakarta are still learning online. Some impoverished families cannot afford to buy electronic gadgets. Therefore, Tzu Chi volunteers provided smartphones and prepaid cards so their studies would not be delayed.
Due to the pandemic, many schools in Jakarta, including Tzu Chi Great Love School, are empty, as students are learning at home.
In the new semester, my children are learning online, but I only have one mobile phone, so the two sisters cannot learn together.
Among Stephanie's 2 daughters, the elder sister is in 8th grade and the younger sister is in 4th grade. They are forced to take turns to use their only mobile phone at home.
Sekolah-sekolah di seluruh Jakarta semuanya menetapkan belajar dari rumah.
Due to the pandemic, government has implemented restriction order and banned school activities. Students are asked to study online and learn from home. However, some impoverished families do not have electronic appliances. We provide hardware so students' learning would not be delayed.
Besides presenting the gift, Tzu Chi volunteers also care for the family. Stephanie, who runs a small business, has earned less because of the pandemic. Fortunately, her husband makes a living by massaging, which helps to support the family.
Since 2 years ago, my husband has started to learn to massage. He is now able to massage for people. He will go when neighbors ask him to massage. His income can help support the family.
Although this family lives a simple life, they're content with what they have and they cherish their blessings.
In Taiwan, Northern District TIMA members have been visiting elderly Tzu Chi volunteers since December. Amongst them, 77-year-old Chen Zhenxiao had a brain tumor surgery and his mobility is restricted because of a fall. Fortunately, with TIMA members' care, his health and spirit are improving.
TIMA doctors mindfully guide Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Zhenxiao to do rehabilitation. After Northern District TIMA members cared for him for a year, Grandpa Chen, who was originally depressed, has started to smile. His health has gradually improved as he can stand up on his own now.
His facial complexion has improved. As we see his improvement, we feel more at ease.
From his facial expression, we can tell that he has expectations. Humane doctors' important duty is more than treating the illness, but also healing the patient's mind.
Grandpa Chen and his wife Lu Ye often volunteered at the recycling station in the past. Now Lu Ye still goes to the recycling station to help out, besides caring for her husband.
I go and do recycling during my breaks. Whenever he sleeps, I will rush to do recycling.
Hopefully Grandpa Chen will recover soon with the care of Tima members. Then he can return to the recycling station to volunteer again.
In Malaysia, Selangor and Kuala Lumpur volunteers carry out neighborhood relief program. Volunteers headed to these households, inquired their needs, and also bonded with the families. Besides providing cash cards, volunteers also promoted Bamboo Coin Bank. Here's the story.
The neighborhood relief program cash card has eased the minds of the residents. Beside the cash assistance, Chong Yet Ying has also received the warm as if it's from an actual family member.
I'm happy that you all come visit. We are like a family. I've been waiting excitedly for your arrival. I was waiting right here. Once I heard you all have arrived, I was so happy till I didn't have time to get off my chair.
Volunteers visit one family after another, sending aid supplies and also listening to their sufferings. The pandemic has impacted the lives of many. In addition to bad health, the pillar of this family of three is about to crumble.
Sometimes when I vomit, I think it's just a normal thing. After interviewing for a job and had a medical check, I realized that I have tuberculosis. Doctors say I need to take medication for at least 6 months.
Minimum makan 6 bulan.
Ini kita letak ini, yang penting kasih kamu ini, ha?
Ini card, ini ATM card.
The family has been unable to pay their utility bills for months. This cash aid came just in time.
Ini tangan boleh terbalik kan, kita tolong orang. Macam mana tolong orang? Okey, ini boleh kita kadang-kadang 1 hari lah. Kita 1 sen, 20 sen, 30 sen boleh.
I didn't know that even poor people are able to help others. Today, I just realized this. I believe we can also donate and help others who are also in need.
Besides providing aid assistance, volunteers also inspired the kind thoughts inside the receivers, continuing the cycle of kindness.
In Malaysia, a single father Hafiz needs to take care of his sick children all by himself. His house is cluttered and unclean. Tzu Chi volunteers work with contractors to renovate Hafiz's home and help the family build new habits.
The clothes have been piled up like a mountain and the surroundings are all very messy. This is a common phenomenon at Hafiz's home.
There's only one bed in his room. The kids eat and sometimes urinate on the bed. The wastewater from washing the dishes will also flow out into the kitchen, causing his whole house to be oily and sticky.
I'm the only pillar in my family now. The mother of these 6 children have passed away. I'm not working and without income. Life has been hard. We now rely on the government subsidy, only 500 ringgits to get on with our lives. I've searched for jobs, but I cannot work in the day because all my kids are still small and I need to take care of them.
After his contract as a night guard expired, Hafiz has not been working. Volunteers decided to take this opportunity to help him renovate his house.
We'll help him renovate his kitchen. We'll also help with some wiring, because the ceiling fan is too low and it's very dangerous, so we will install a new fan on the wall. We will also help him clean up other things because he is unstable to do it alone.
The whole renovation process took 10 days. The contractors used professionalism and love to help this family.
The contractors are all very supportive. They provided all the materials and only charged for their workmanship. This family lacked the concept of maintaining a clean house, so I think that they will need a long-term caring.
After renovating the house, this family finally have a much comfortable living environment. Only by slowly changing their daily habits can they solve the hygienic issue of their home.
In Sabah, Malaysia, volunteer Wang Mingdra has invited many Tzu Chi care recipients to do recycling. Among them is a single mother, Josephine. Today, Josephine is no longer a care recipient. She's now a recycling volunteer who uses her magic to keep secondhand goods store clean and orderly.
Josephine is a single mother who raises 5 children single-handedly. Tzu Chi volunteers who accompany her have encouraged her to do recycling.
I'm happy to give of myself here. As a volunteer, I can chat and laugh with other volunteers. This way, it won't be boring. After her husband passed away, we help her with a living subsidy. While helping her, we also educated her children to do recycling. This way, after her children grow up and she is no longer poor, she can volunteer with us.
No longer a Tzu Chi care recipient, Josephine still does recycling. She also keeps the second-hand goods store tidy and clean.
I've seen volunteers help people mindfully. I do my best to give of myself. When they invite me, I will go to help out.
Having done recycling for 9 years, Josephine often shares her experience of cherishing resources.
Their friends will bring other friends over here. Sometimes I will tell them there are new items. You can come take a look. I found something for my kid and for myself. I am looking for a belt for my child.
At Kanagawa Tzu Chi recycling station, many recycling volunteers are like Josephine, as they were Tzu Chi care recipients before. Through doing recycling, they've learned to reciprocate Tzu Chi's assistance and contribute to society.
In Malaysia, every citizen produces some 16.8 kilograms of plastic packaging each year. The Malaysian people are conscious of this waste, and an eco-friendly awakening to plastics has begun. This year, plastic straws will no longer be used, and for recycling policy to succeed, it will need the participation of every citizen.
On Sunday morning, this place becomes busy as everyone is inspired to work based on their love of the earth.
There's a recycling station here, which can help us pass the time as we chat and just take it as exercise.
Like a drive-through counter for fast food, the Selangor Kota Kumaning recycling station is based on the same principle, allowing the public to engage in recycling easily. They also teach people how to use their feet.
Yes, I bought my own sneakers here just to step on the bottles. Volunteers told me we have to do this to save space.
The seeds of environmental protection began with a vow. In 2010, Tzu Chi Kuala Lumpur and Selangor chapter hoped each group could start a station. At that time, there were more than 80 teams working together, but there are fewer than 10 recycling stations. How did they implement this plan?
We have encountered 3 major challenges. The first is that people are busy with their own missions because of their work. The second is to find a place and have a suitable space. This is not easy. The third difficulty is setting up a recycling system. When we put this idea into practice, everyone thought it would cost a lot of money.
The hardships included finding the right time and place to do recycling.
I was notified by the city council at the time that we had the wrong location. The place where we set up was incorrect, and our location was actually the opposite side over there. I almost fainted because we had already installed the fence.
With all these twists and turns, the recycling operation eventually began to run smoothly, and the rent was also offered at a discount. This was the result of official recognition and support.
When they do recycle center, they more as an education center. It's not only to recycle to get money, but they are educating the public and especially the younger generation to why we need to save this earth. The need for us to give this earth to the next generation.
Volunteers painstakingly educate all the people who visit.
When some materials came, we said we didn't collect them. Sometimes the volunteers said there were no recyclers to do recycling because the price was not good. They were going to take care of the earth depending on the money they could earn.
The The recycling station is willing to be a channel supporting recycling companies. Look at the recycling rate in Malaysia. According to official statistics, is only 24%, which is less than half of Taiwan. To prepare for the government's Zero Plastic Usage Plan 2030, supermarkets have already taken the lead in using biodegradable bags.
Hello, you need plastic bag?
Okay, yes.
In Malaysia, biodegradable bags have replaced plastic bags, which cost just a few cents, and it can decompose completely.
It's very convenient to park here. You take the cart out and then put it in the car. Why do you need to pay for the biodegradable bag? It's a few cents, but it's very expensive.
In addition to the eco-friendly policies at supermarkets and communities in Kuala Lumpur, the main place to cut down on garbage is the family home.
Reduce as much to the landfill. Everything goes into recycle, food goes to compost, and plastic goes to recycle. Yeah.
The two members of this family only produce 0.4 kilograms of trash per month. And her influence also extends to people in the community. This Japanese person just moved to the community 2 years ago. In 2017, the community garden just started, and he will come here a few days a week to compost kitchen waste.
If you live in the outskirts of Japan, there are often fields and farmhouses, but such opportunities are rare. When I moved to Malaysia, I'm very happy to do environmental activities with everyone.
In this corner of the community is iCycle, which specializes in recycling various recyclables sent by the public.
We all have a barcode, and they record how much we recycle every week. So there's a record, so they are also collecting data.
Dr. Tan Ching Song promoted recycling coupled with the internet back in 2017. The practice is very simple. People sort recyclables at home, then stick the barcode on the bag, and then throw it into a trash can marked iCycle. The system will count each person's recycling volume.
Whether it's law enforcement, recyclers, or managers like us, we can all use this data to reward or educate. Through these methods, we can change everyone's habits when it comes to waste production.
Striding towards zero waste is the path that Malaysia's environmental protection movement is taking. It is starting with individuals and spreading to communities, and even involving charitable organizations and social enterprises. It is a powerful force for change, which is promising a better life and environment for future generations.
In California, city volunteers are distributing cash cards to help displaced residents recover from wildfires. Here's the footage. Thank you for watching. See you next time.